This is no filter media. If it's real, you will hear it here.
Human being, a corruption.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is rejecting claims that he should bear the responsibility for procurement breaches at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Dr. Tufton says blame rests squarely with those who deal with procurement at the health facility.
More than a week after the Auditor General's report exposed serious breaches at the University Hospital of the West Indies, public concern continues to mount. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, who appointed a committee to investigate the findings, is now facing intense criticism. Despite this, Dr. Tufton is distancing himself from the fallout, saying the matter is complex and rooted in long-standing systematic challenges.
Free media is filled with distractions, and unfortunately it's an opportunity for persons to comment and to pursue their ambitions.
Dr. Tufton says those responsible for procurement are the ones who should be held accountable.
For example, you have a development program for the University Hospital that started at the University of the West Indies, where resources were provided to support the design of a new building. As a case in point, that resource was determined through another institution, government in the Caribbean, and was administered through the University of the West Indies. So what we need to do is to assess in its totality against the report how these layers of authority work.
In the meantime, Dr. Tufton says he is actively working to address the internal issues highlighted in the report as investigations continue.
I have to allow that process to take its course, and I've given that committee 4 months, and they have graciously agreed. And I think in the meantime what we need to do is to support the operations of the university, which is a very critical institution for training of healthcare workers, for research in healthcare, and of course we're providing tertiary level, higher level service in terms of patient care. And we always have to give that institution that support while we work on some of the other issues.
Kerry-Ann Simpson, TVJ News.
Why these people never take accountability for anything? They always try to put the blame somewhere else or put the blame on somebody else, instead of just owning up and take accountability to fix the issues. You understand? These people are always trying to throw things around. You understand?
Now, amid an eruption of concerns over the findings of the latest Auditor General Performance Report on the University Hospital of the West Indies, the UHWI, a diaspora-based commentator is demanding greater accountability measures. He questions the need for the recently named review committee while challenging the Auditor General and other stakeholders to dig deeper. Here's more from Nika Lewis.
Days on, and the matter concerning the 72-page performance audit continues to provoke public sentiments. But is that enough? For this former CEO of the Press Association of Jamaica and social commentator in the diaspora, Hilton Dennis, it's time to bell the cat.
As a reporter, you have to ask for more of those who are responsible for the reports. You know, like the Auditor General, you have to ask more of her than just presenting a report, because you would present a report with an expectation of some action being taken and some result from that action that is meaningful to the country, that is beneficial to the taxpayer, especially whose money it is, or who will have the burden of replacing that money that is missing or misappropriated or whatever, or cheated, or that the revenue is cheated by.
Dennis cites a plethora of concerns, among them the stark resemblance of the latest performance audit on the hospital to another conducted back in 2007. Despite the gap between the two, he notes little to no follow-ups were mentioned and fears this could suggest in another several years this matter will persist.
To me, this latest 72-page report is almost a carbon copy of a report that was done in 2007. And the other party, the opposition party, has coined a phrase, whataboutism. Whenever you go in there and you point to the parallels, they say whataboutism. right? But then nobody addresses what should be addressed. They only point finger. And you see, this one now has gone in a direction where it implicates not just the government or the party in power, but it also, there's a suggestion that it implicates persons or a person on the other side.
Meantime, he accepts that the affairs of the hospital must not be addressed separately from those of the university next door, reminding much of their affairs overlap. He also pondered the reported delayed financials and reports across several sectors, resulting in dire consequences.
And then this is a time of real-time technology where the filings should be coming in every month, so that, you know, no more than 3 months to compile a report related to a financial year. But you find an auditor general doing an audit in 7-year cycles. That's of no benefit to the country. And then she's not giving an update on what happened when she last reported, what were her findings and how were they addressed, or who was derelict in addressing those findings.
Dennis reasoned now is the time for the media to go deeper.
The system is rotten to the core, man. Because if it's one thing I know, the AG need to get the mocha in and then need to do some more digging. Because I guarantee if they do more digging, they're gonna find a lot more stuff that they've been doing for over the years now. You understand? Because these people, they're just fleecing and ripping off. You understand? Poor people. Poor people work so hard to pay taxes in the country and then fleece and rob. But I tell you, man, time is up on them.
Criminal cases against former SSL executives moved from parish court to Supreme Court. The criminal cases against 3 former executives of the collapsed investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, have been transferred to the Supreme Court. The cases against SSL Growth Equity Limited and Delta Capital Partners Limited have also been transferred. The move by the country's top prosecutor was announced on Monday when the 3 former SSL executives appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson used her constitutional powers to halt the cases before the parish court, prosecutors disclosed. Instead, Thompson's office indicated that a voluntary bill of indictment would be used to move the cases to the Supreme Court. Emergency contracts top $5 billion since Hurricane Melissa, says Finance Ministry official. The government estimates that, as of January 8 this year, the value of emergency procurement contracts has exceeded $5 billion since the passage of Hurricane Melissa in October 2025. Javel Barrett, the Chief Public Procurement Policy Officer at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, said the emergency procurement facility has been used to provide essential support and aid. He told JIS News that the breakdown of contracts awarded, as published on the Government of Jamaica electronic procurement portal, GoJEP, ranges from road repair works to the provision of relief items. It spans procurement of container homes by the NHT, National Housing Trust. It includes supplies by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, where they would have published notices for food items that they would have procured, he said. Barrett also pointed to activities by the NSWMA, National Solid Waste Management Authority, by the NWC, National Water Commission, in terms of their response to the emergency procurement of trucks, water tanks, tipper trucks, and responses from the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Mining.